Full disclosure, news and commentary number 129, 129, 129, 129, 129, ha, 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 ha. Woo! This is a crazy one. I'm not going to pretend it's not going to be a crazy episode of Full Disclosure. It most certainly is. Got off the phone with a number of people about a number of crazy things. I wanted to hear from Larry what he thought of the AWE show. Let's talk about it. 125. That's good. People were enthusiastic for the entire 3-hour shows with no intermission, and they were with them all the way. That's good. I hope AWE sticks with this, man. People have been through many relaunches with them, and they obviously love what they're doing. And October 17th is the next show. Chip Day, Buddy Murphy, I believe. That's cool. Just keep going. Yeah, AWE managed to do a great show. Eddie Kingston wasn't there for reasons that I heard about, but I'm not going to disclose. But the crowd was still with it. And they were super honest from the jump, said, hey, Eddie Kingston's not here. If you want a refund, come get it. 4 people took him up on it. But they were honest and upfront about everything. All that sounds really great to me. The Championship Wrestling from Atlanta show showed up Saturday night at 10 p.m. Larry, I thought, gave a great assessment of what worked and what didn't as far as the production end. Hopefully, Championship Wrestling from Atlanta listens. People are excited to do that show. They're excited that that show exists. But I'm just going to fucking say something that's probably going to get people mad right off the jump. If that show... If there are no reasons to watch that show is not going to survive. Hear that. And for the wrestlers who are on it, I know you're excited, but if that show looks like shit and sounds like shit, people are not going to watch that show. And frankly, in this day and age, it's not easy to create interesting content, but there's lots of ways you can go besides match, promo in the ring. There's all kinds of interesting things you can do. I got this thing sent to me that Irving West and Andy Ripley did, where they're ghost hunting. And I refuse to watch it until I can look at that thing live. And so I'm going to do that tomorrow. I can't wait. It's the kind of messed up thing that I want to watch, right? It's the kind of like interesting angles that people take upon themselves to do. It's the Left Hand Path promo that I was really happy to look at. And then I saw this Exotic Youth did this promo on a boat. I'm going to watch that thing too. Like, I'm down. I am down. But AWE, I think it's a really interesting story from the weekend. Obviously, they're up and running. What are we talking about in the commentary? We're going to talk about these awards because just to get people's minds moving in that direction. We're reaching the end of September. We have a number of big shows coming up still. Southern Honor obviously is going to have their anniversary show. That's happening in October in a week or two. So we're going to talk about it. But AWE, congratulations. That's a great relaunch. Keep it going. By the way, their idea, I think they finally figured out how to use that Patreon thing to its best intent. So if you wanted to see that show live stream it, you could if you were on their Patreon. I think that's brilliant. Genius. Did you think you would live to see the day where I'd sit here and talk so well about AEWE? Oh, wrestling, you're never boring. Speaking of boring, though, Raw is on. Harsh. Plane Ride from Hell. I'm probably going to have a lot more to say about this later on, but something that I find amazing in all of it, with all the opinions going back and forth and all this stuff happening, here's the part that I find the most amazing, is that Missy Hyatt has the most level-headed best take on this thing in Twitter form. Missy Hyatt says, "My opinion on the culture depicted in Dark Side of the Ring. Old school wrestling. It was sadly not frowned upon exposing yourself to a stranger, H-bombing coworkers, or even strangers. It was part of the culture at the time. I don't condone it. Glad the new generation is wiser. We're in a time where I'm complimenting AWE all over the place, and Missy Hyatt has the level-headed fucking take. The fuck. Perhaps hell really has frozen over. And speaking of which, that's called a segue. The Tapped Out Guys shows happened. 273. How many of those were comps? I heard different things. What the fuck ever. A whole bunch of people saw a show. Rob Rod covered it. gwhnewsandnotes.blogspot.com. By the way, we are slowly changing the format at GWH, in case you didn't know. And it's for the better. I'll talk about that later on. But Rob Rod's got the report in. Obviously, the boys love doing that show. A bunch of hijinks happened. A bunch of people got together, did a thing. I heard Todd ran the back. Obviously, it was a handful to deal with, but they all dealt with it. Everybody got through that show. The show happened. People were cool. Yay. So Hell Freezes Over happened. And now, in that building, they're gearing up for Southern Honor. APW drew 74. GIPW, according to report, started with 50 and then they ended up getting 75. GIPW, I'm gonna call them out because I love them. Right, gone to more than one of their shows. But here's the thing: they got to promote. They got to bring people in. And Larry, when we were talking about GIPW, brought up a good point, which is Warner Robins is kind of affluent, and GIPW needs to present themselves in such a way that people want to come to that show and that they need to know about that show. And it's in a VFW hall, so why aren't there more military people there? Whoever is promoting that thing, I'm just calling you out. You got to fucking do the work. Because there's a lot of promotions with promoters that could give a fuck about wrestling or don't really understand it, who nonetheless bring in a ton of people. Or there are promoters that know wrestling and have a vision for what they want to present, but don't give a fuck about the promotion end. And what ends up happening is nobody comes and watches their fucking show. But there is a way to do both. And strangely, I mean, look at, like, Rampage had their reunion show. Big, hairy deal. 100 people watched. And every picture I saw people that did look bored with what was going on. And that show deserved better. Right? But it didn't get better. GIPW, I'm calling you out. Fucking get people in that fucking building and think of ways of switching up your presentation so the stuff seems higher end or at least better. So that way people are excited to be at that show, that you're getting new people every time. That was the thing that Larry said impressed him the most at AWE, or one of the things that impressed him the most, was that there were a lot of new faces there. That's the name of the game. You got to keep bringing people in. Some of them stay, some of them won't, but you got to keep getting people in the door, or else what happens is diminishing returns, and eventually your crowd goes to nothing. That's what you don't want. That's what you don't want. Rampage drawing 100, it's got to be considered disappointing, right? And I haven't heard of how the show was. I would love to hear about how the show was. Somebody let me know. Somebody let me know. Here are some stories. Coastal in Savannah drawing more than 200. Paid. And Renegade Championship Wrestling getting 440 in conjunction with the school. And it's funny, as soon as I put that out there to people, their reaction was, well, yeah, because they're working with the school. Yeah! That's the excuse? That's supposed to be an excuse? No. Kudos to Tyler for making that shit happen. It looked awesome, you know? And that's great. We got to fucking promote, people. You got to get people in the door. You just got to get them in the door. You got to do what you got to do. Miracles don't just happen. People don't just suddenly like, I'm just going to keep coming in. There's too many entertainment options. You got to get them in the door. You gotta figure out how to do it. It is imperative. And for AWE, people want to be in love with that promotion. That's clear. So just validate their love. Continue to put, I think a once a month show works, and it's great. Am I at IWE on Saturday? You damn Skippy. I am going to be there. It's an unbelievable card. It's a fantastic card. And like AWE, something else that I notice is people are having different kind of main events. I thought having a 4-way for their tag titles was a cool way to end that show for AWE. I've heard that at IWE, the final match is going to be the Ducklings defending their tag titles against the Exotic Youth. Fucking excited about that shit. I like that people are mixing it up. Here in Florida, Atomic Wrestling had their first ever women in the main event in front of a packed house, and it completely worked. All about it. I think it's cool. I think it's the new wave of wrestling. I think before it was always as the WWE went, so indie wrestling went. How many promotions do some version of a Royal Rumble? How many promotions do a version of Money in the Bank? And how many promotions do a version of Elimination Chamber and that kind of thing? We're all eating off of their table, except now people, whether they realize it or not, are being influenced by AEW. And I think that's a good thing. Get different kind of main events. Get matches that are super hot for your opener instead of just, old conventional wisdom was like, you want a match that's pretty good, but that doesn't do too much and blah, 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 blah. And AEW is like, fuck you, right? Like our opening match is going to be that hot shit. Like exciting shit, consequential shit. Really set the tone that people always talk about. You got to set the tone, but then they do it with a match that's throwaway. Not anymore. And I love that kind of creativity. I love people trying shit. I think it's awesome. Got Big E cutting the promo right now. Yeah, we're 10 minutes in. We're doing the long promo thing. Yeah. Commentary. I'm just going to list off the awards. And I want you to think of names. And I'm going to tell you who won before. Right? Boop. So, I'm going to start from the bottom. So last year, best promo. It's Joe Black's. Who's the best promo this year? I don't fucking know. Get on it. Best match. Last year, it was Joe Black and William Huckabee, dog collar match. What is it this year? I don't know. Get on it. Maybe that tag team, 4-way tag team match from AWE. I certainly would love to see it and love to know. Best feud and rivalry. Last year, Matt Hankins and Bill Behrens. There's obviously no way that that's happening this year. So what's it going to be? I saw that Tyler Culprit put out a thing making an argument for he and Ace Haven. I think you can make that argument. I think obviously, the Sexton Alliance against Team Manders. That's another one that you could put up there. But there are others. I want to hear about them. I want people to start thinking about them. Best mentor. I don't know. You tell me. I think there's a number of names that could be up there. Todd Sexton, obviously, is one of those names that's going to get kicked around. People always insist on nominating me, which I greatly appreciate. But, there's other guys, too. The Aaron Blacks of the world. Right? The Matt Hankins of the world. And others. Let's hear it. Referee. Dude. Weekly and Hall going back and forth. Right? Daryl Hall 2017, David Weekly 2018, 2019 Daryl Hall, 2020 David Weekly. Come on. That's great. But there's other referees in the mix now too. But those two, what can you say? Great is great, right? Best Announcer, and Best Commentator. So Diana Michelle was the ring announcer last year, and Brandon and Gerard, excuse me, come on, Steve. Brandon and Gerard for Southern Honor were the commentators. What's it going to be this year? What's it going to be this year? Best live. So Diana Michelle might be a lock, right? She might be the only one that I know for sure might return from last year's. Interesting. Best Live Event Award. Is it going to be still here the third anniversary? Because it was still here the second anniversary last year. And so Southern Honor Wrestling the 1000 show the year before that. So Southern Honor's had the best 2 in a row. But I don't know this year. I think people got to get out. What was the best live event? Was it Shindig this year? Was it Crossroads? Is it going to be still here the third anniversary show? I don't know. Is it AWE's last show? Is it going to be a show of the year this year? AWE's show of the year this year. Best promotion, it's been Southern Honor the last 2 years running. What's it going to be this year? I don't know. Best Booker. Here's what's interesting about Best Booker to me is it's always gone in 2-year cycles. So Rick Michaels, 2015 and 16. Todd Sexton, 2017 and 18. Dylan, 2019 and 20. This year, I think it's wide open. And what do you mean by when you say wide open, Steve? I mean, I don't know. It seems to be Todd. I don't know, but I know it's going to come down to these last 3 months. That's my point with all of these awards. Dude, any of these awards are going to turn on a dime in these last, I say 3 months. It's 3 months. October, November, December. Because we're going to go all the way to the end of the year before we even talk about nominees and stuff like that. Best Promoter Award, Gary Lamb. Last 2 years. Is it somebody else? I don't know. I'm watching people draw 440. I'm watching Southern Fried do well, but I'm watching all of these other promotions consistently come through. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Manager. Again, this is the other one that I think might be on lock with Matt Hankins, who's won the last 2 years running. But I've seen people kind of throw Logan Chase's name out there. And to me, that's infinitely interesting. Are there others? Let me know. Let me know. Start thinking about it. Most Improved. That's the other one that's inevitably going to be different. Let me tell you the last 4 years. Most Improved. Tyler Culprit, David Ali, Alan Angels, Logan Creed. Not bad. Most Improved. Is it Will Caution? Is it Hold My Beer Hansen? Shit, you can make an argument that it's David Ali again. Unbelievable. Best Tag Team or Stable Award. Last year, The Undeniable. Year before, the Lynch Mob. They're out. Year before that, Team Tag. They're out. So you got Undeniable. You've got All-Star Special. Right? You've got League of Terribles. You've got, Technical Excellence. My God. There are a lot of good teams and stables, aren't there? And I know I'm forgetting a bunch. Forgive me for that. That used to be kind of like a weak tit award. Now it's become, maybe the most competitive one. Best tag team or stable. Shit team out there. Sexton Alliance, if you want to go there, right? Ted Allen Legends Award. I have my thoughts on it. But I'm going to leave them there. But I want you to start marinating on it. Keep in mind they got to get 50% of the vote. Who are the legends who really deserve it? Another one that's probably a lock, though maybe not. A Best Female Performer Award. Danny Jordan, Danny Jordan, Danny Jordan. Before that, Kiera Hogan, Kiera Hogan. Before that, Dementia DeRose, who, by the way, just won the Shine title. That's pretty awesome. Danny Jordan, Danny Jordan, Danny Jordan. Is it still Danny Jordan, Danny Jordan, Danny Jordan? Is it Diana Michelle? Is it Amy Haven? Is it Candy Cannoli? Is it Brooklyn Creed? I don't know. But even me just naming names off the top of my head means it's more competitive than it's been in a while. So that is definitely a good thing. Best Male Performer last year, Hold My Beer Hansen. Who is it this year? Is it Sal Renaro? Oh, by the way, yeah, Happy Madness. That was the other team I was thinking of for Tag Team or Stable. Best Male Performer. Is it the return of Sal Renaro? I don't know. Is it Adrian Hawkins? Hold My Beer Hansen again. Tyler Culprit. My God, there's a lot of good ones, aren't there? Is it Matt Hankins? Matt Hankins has done some shit. Best Technician Award. Last year, Chip Day. Is it Chip Day and Kyle Matthews as a tag team? Oh, God, I said some blasphemous, crazy, have to think about it stuff, didn't I? Oh, by the way, my thing of start your show off hot, that the AEW influence. You know what Raw's opening match is? It's the New Day against the Usos and Roman Reigns. Tell me I don't know my shit. Tell me I'm not right about shit. Even Raw is having to succumb to become more like AEW. Does that hurt you to hear? Why? It's what's happening, and that's good. Then finally, Overall Wrestler Award. Last year is Joe Black. Look at this list. Phil Shatter, Bull Buchanan, Kyle Matthews 2 years in a row, Shane Marks, Sean Tempers, Jimmy Rave, Chip Day, Gunnar Miller, Logan Creed twice, and Joe Black. Not bad. Who's the overall wrestler? At one point, people were saying, oh, it's David Ali in a runaway. And then somebody who really, really smart put out, maybe it's Michael Judas as well. He should be in the discussion. Now, I think you can make arguments that other people are in the discussion. Chip Day, Joe Black. Can't wait to see. Point is this. These last 3 months are going to be so, so important. And I can't believe that we're here again. And keep in mind, and this is important, we were thinking of not doing awards last year. That was actually a point of debate. And instead, we went in the direction of we're going to revamp, we're going to acknowledge some things that should be acknowledged and reward the creativity and people, like, you know, we wanted to be sort of have something for people to look forward to. This year, these awards are legit. People ran shows. People did their damn thing. We've chronicled problems of, you know, people are having trouble holding on to their crowds and all the rest of it. But nonetheless, people are running full bore. So we're going to have these awards. So I ask this all the time, and I'm asking it for the first time this year. Who's it going to be? And how are you going to get in the conversation? This has been Full Disclosure.